Hey everybody. So one of the things I'd like to talk about this week are just some simple concepts that I've added to my playing and learned over the years that can really expand what you're able to do and give you a lot more options while you're soloing through a tune. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is the utilization of licks and how you can put them in different places to add some interest to your playing. So, for example, like the type of lick I'm talking about is a classic piece of language, and I'm going to do it over in F blues. And the context we'll put it in is the lick will happen going from the 1 chord to the 4 chord at the end of bar 4 of a blues. So in the key of F, that's going to be F, B flat, F, C minor 7, F dominant. Okay, so that's where the lick is going to fall, and the lick I'm going to play over that quick 2/5, that's C minor 7 to F7 to B flat 7, is this. Okay, classic lick, you've heard that a million times. 9 3 5 7 9 1, and it's over that 2/5. Anything that happens after that lick is just part of the solo. So once again, in context, that sounds like this. Okay, great lick, gets you to that 4 chord really nice. It spells out the changes. It's great. So what can we do with that to give it a little more interest? You can play that line a half step higher before you play it in the key that is your target key. In order to make that work, you have to do it a little sooner in the form. So in context, that sounds like this. So I just played that same lick over a D flat minor to a G flat, and then I played it, and I also changed it in my bass line too, just to create a little more tension. If you were playing this with a bass player, your bass player probably wouldn't do that, and that line still works, but since we're the organ player and we can do whatever we want, that just gives it that much more movement. So what that does is that repeating line makes your solo sound a little more composed, and I think it makes the listener feel like what you're playing was more intentional, because it was. But it's not a difficult thing to do. You already know some of these pieces of language. Now you're just putting them in a little different key in a different place. Let's take another one. Another classic lick you could do in that exact same spot starts on the 6. 6 7 3 or 6 7 5 3 2 1. Okay? Same thing. So in context, now, same thing. Let's play it a half step higher, a little quicker in the form in order to get that all squeezed in there. You see how that just gives the whole line like some more continuity, and plus that half step move kind of makes your ear go, oh, what's happening there? So that's something you can do over just about any 2/5 in any tune. Obviously, all of these things are adjust to taste and don't put too much salt on things, but just the right amount can really, spice up your playing. I hate cliches like that, but I went there with the salt thing and I just had to keep going. You could do that later in the form also, where you get to the 2/5 before the end. So let's go from the 4 chord. Same thing. I just played a line a half step higher than my target, and then I played that same line at my target. So try adding that to your playing and see what you get.